สวดชุมนุมเทวดา
พรหมาจาโลกาทิปติสัมปติกัดอัญชลียันทิวารังยาจถาสันติสันตาปาราชาคชาติกาเทเสตุธัมมังอนุกัมปิมังปะชัง
So Venerable Yangten Rinpoche was born in Kham, Tibet in 1978. He was recognized at the reincarnation of the previous Yangten Rinpoche at the age of 10 and was enthroned at Kandze Monstery. After living in Tibet under the Chinese rule for 12 years, he left his homeland for India in pursuit of traditional Tibetan monastic education in South India. In 1990, at the unusually young age of 12, he entered the Geshe program at Sera Mey Monastery, carrying out the study of traditional Buddhist texts on philosophy, logic, and epistemology, Buddhist Metaphysics and Cosmology, Abhidharma, and the Monastic Code of Conduct. And he graduated with a Geshe Lharampa degree with distinction in 2007 at only age 29. After graduation, Rinpoche joined Kandze Monstery for 2 years and completed the traditional tantric studies there. During his time at Kandze Monstery, Rinpoche helped His Holiness the Karmapa as a debate assistant. In 2008, Rinpoche has helped by his Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to work in His Holiness's private office and has assisted His Holiness on many projects, including being selected to compile a book on Buddhist science in the Kangyur and Tengyur canons. So, thank you for being here, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, could you talk about your childhood as a monk and why, in your view, you see that being a monk or having monks in the world, in society, is a good thing? Yeah.
김준바디 지당 시기 넘버 소다장 마인바제 김준바디 된다 신다지 된교레스.
Being a monk is not just the appearance. There's another aspect to it.
시 넘버디 디양코랑 계진부지더레스.
Yeah, the physical, how we see monks is also important.
더 김준바스디 나조라 상루 신다지 나조라 된교레스.
But on top of the physical aspect, they give you a sense of how we should start thinking about.
상루 가르된 거였으나 다 라우도 중앙되기 나도 단다 시 튼진 차트스시 줘라 디지부라 고코르지네 디지부기 이침바 다랑긴 저기도 상바이나 디장지 당기 말에 난 상루 토네 연디 상루 메시지 고레스 띵아소도 고마단 거레스.
It shows you that from all the things that is going on, the materialistic things that you have, that these would not be enough for you, that there is the mindset or the mind training that is really required. So not just the physical sense, but looking at a monk, you see that there is another way of life.
아니 가서라 상리 나로라 나랑도 참아로 유바 배나 컨트롤세다 아니 다나 신경 가지세야다 엔 다나 신 이모션 뭐여러 tizu trade nganzu la ninga sugi orda di sanglo tyungyo ores.
It shows you that emotions like anger, jealousy, that these are very detrimental to you. The monks show that aspect, that there is another life.
지나 김dumba 세티 di chane be geji muchago ores.
So it is important that it represents the non-materialistic practice that is important in your life as well.
쇼 신다지네 제왕 하시기 돈이 시에서는 야 딜레 단도 상로 신다지네 망부 요레스.
Yeah. So this is in this life, but if you look at the many lives, then there is even further depth on why it is important to be a monk and having monks in the society.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and Nangyal, thank you for joining and translating as well. Rinpoche, the Tibetan situation politically seems very difficult in many ways right now. How have you maintained a heart of equanimity and kindness in the midst of all that? And do you have any advice for modern Americans in terms of navigating a fraught political situation, a difficult political situation, and keeping their hearts cool and loving?
다 벽이 내단기 돈이 할레벤 자다 벽세디 무퇴는 잠불린디간라 수행부지 대토래 도마레세 신대지구에 딘제 치시 레디오레스.
Yeah, the Tibetan situation is very drastic and urgent. It is almost at a whether it will even exist or not. So it is at that state.
다 이내양 나랑기 가르치고도 수수라 다디간라 수수기 벽이 체도 같이 제토바디 사마치 디자마도 딜레 게네 신대지디와 개핑도스 심바지우데 핀두치우도스.
But from an individual standpoint, you do the best you can for that. But beyond that, it is not in your control. So knowing that you do the best is where he gets the peace.
다 아리기다 첼시 쇼가게 도스강에 다 지단 강에서디 미지소라 요요바레스.
Yeah. So he talked about the American political things, but he mentioned that like problems and challenges will be part of everyone's life. It is no different.
다 이내야 아리오치인베 문에 아리나로라 첼시기 다수면다와 같이 요바 이내야 타투기 미 ngasu tsama ari wari ari lombala pembaji ngasu chegure sangsangi sanglu di malabaji niwardu gures.
But as an American citizen here, you should think about what is best for all of us. And that is that you should never lose that sight, that you are doing the best for everyone, not just for one side or the other.
다 아리오지인베 문에 아리 롬바지 기벤디 다 아리오지를 뒤디 다 개치슈 자고레스.
Yeah, so as a US citizen, being that you are not, that you think about the US as where you are thinking about the good things that you can do for your country is at the top priority.
세상 참에세 나로라 나주 참아 아리오이 나주 참에 아리라 펜바지 제국의 상상 뒤에나 신다면 템바에나 강에 침부 되게 말했어.
So when you have that thing, we are all same, we are in the same country, you're doing the best for your country, then little disagreement is just can be sidelined.
세상 미주디 가리바 디마지버 지구도.
Yeah, think about the uber goal and the others will fall through.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah.
How do you how do you advise people to maintain bodhicitta, metta, in that situation?
상주기 컨테스트 지오레스.
인데 투줄라 상주기 semba de kandes da nyamlen jores.
아니요. 다 뒤주 간제지 거래 인바 이나레 나랑주 참마 지주던 지디오레스. 지주지 요네 가주 추고고레스. 수영고고레스.
Yeah, wherever the situation is, you are part of the society that you are in.
다 띵인디간라 지주세데 나랑주 미수수를 뺏게 침부레스.
The society is important. The community and the society is important to you.
배나 단나 나랑주 디 위에 참마 다 딜은 종에 좀바디 지주주의장 나주 디 종에 좀바레스.
For example, we are all here because there is a community built, and that's why we are able to come together. And so that is important.
다 하나씩 아주 레벨 나로라 연된지 맨나마도 연된지 외외이나 디 라우전에 수용버스 긴라전에 수용버스.
So when you think about the education that you got was also because you were taught early on from teachers.
진조다 로데다.
Yeah, from your books, from your friends, from your teachers.
아니 나한테 수고를 교양이 돌로디야 아니 신바다 아니 랑숑게 칸 디존에 미신자니 줄레버스.
So everything that we wear is also comes from different sources. People who have worked towards providing for what you even wear on your body, right?
아니 나한테 수고기 최대한디야 멤버다 메다 멘칸다 디주를 땡고도스.
Yeah, even our health depends on a lot of factors like hospitals, good doctors, nurses.
가서 고야기 많이디야 진다자니 연구도스.
And even our financial stability depends on others.
가서 아마나 마치디간라 마라마레스 마부마장케 요마레스.
Yeah, when we are born, we come in the world with no clothes on. We're coming in as naked.
가서 수행부 대회거래야 미신다기 제와당 이체디 고고레스.
So when the life we lead, we need love and compassion from others.
개고차디간라야 로부징이 고도스.
When we are getting old, we need help from others as well.
세상 상주의 선생의 상부 자진부 심부 자진부 내주 참아 통치지네니 디더 튠베 상부 상부지제 디스고레스.
So bodhicitta and compassion is when you think from all these different aspects, you have a bigger sense of why it is important. So the seed of that is understanding that it is all interdependent. Everything that we have is interdependent on others.
Thank you.
Rinpoche, many Buddhists will pray or ask for help from Avalokiteshvara, Chenrezig, Tara. How does that work with the principle of individual karma, that I am the owner of my actions, I am the owner of my karma?
다디 지담 수수기 레라 라레그레세디 까마세디 자와라스고레스 수수를 가르 용마윤디 수수기 자와 가르치에 맞이라 내가 가르치에 토마토라 라레그레스고레스.
Yeah. Karma depends on the deed that you do, like whatever good or bad deed that you do, that directly relates to the karma.
세상 까마세디 수수기 자와라 구구규여 인디간라.
Yeah. So because karma depends on the deeds that you do,
나수기 내가 제디간라 수수기 응운다고치 싸구규나 수수기 자오치 구규 요레디 이나야 수수기 내가 지닝운 싸구규 요레디 응운사베 카도디라 신기 로랑체 요르와스 지레 루부제루지 내가 제루제루지 내가 제베 카도라 레루라 루부제루지세 군수기 수수 내가 제디 핀도지 요르와스 어디낭신 멜랑제디야 조수수 제구규 요르디 이나야 아울루기 디슈라다 지진드마다 코난수기 루부제 디용그레스.
So like the deeds that you do, like even if you are looking for a job, you will need help from others, right? You will need help from your friends, referrals, all of that. So similar to that, when the deed that you do to pray, it's up to you. But Avalokiteshvara or Tara, they help you in the way. So when you think about like, why it is, why we pray to Tara. It's to help you in doing the good deed.
야 참아 아울루기디 슈라기 지기레 팀바이나 다디 취다 남주긴 주당다 미템바리스.
So the principle of Buddhism is they help you on the way, but you can't depend all on them. They are helping you on the way.
베나 수어 멜랑 떠디강라 생기 나로라 멜랑 떠서 주여이나 이제 제서 주여이나 수수신의 이切유여 이切다랑게 수부 최den의 핑기도 왔어.
So even so when you believe in something and you are praying, just by that belief you feel calm. So similar to that is what he is saying.
디지비토니시나.
Yeah, just by that belief you get that calmness, right?
디다 응외네 줄라 디자만세양 가서 그러다 라벨라 라디수 제딩 가서로 루부제 딘데 연구했어.
Yeah. So even in factually we have like evidence of that help coming through when you are praying.
Rinpoche, we know you've worked with His Holiness the Dalai Lama for many years, and you've described him as a living sutra. What stories do you have of him that have inspired you in this way? Why do you think of him as a living sutra?
디된다디 디리스 지당 가서 수다라디 nga는 등규어레스 디치장레스.
So sutra is usually when it comes out from praying, right?
다 문에게 수다라 모마디 가레스는 수다라기 나로기 된다디레스.
But the main meaning is what it is meant, not just how you do the mantra, but what is the meaning of that.
다 수다라기 된다 모마디 수다라 임바 인디간라 아니 군두기 칠라 데니 군둔 제용디간라 슈게 간데스 난것도 주제가도 상것도 간데 난것도 아니 샤라 간데 슈기도 간데 난것도 다 주제 니슈 자식인도 니샤 추치스 그래 주제 니슈 자식이 샤렌낭당 다랑 송주 나야 되는 개면을 샤렌낭다 다랑 따윤디간 쿠란기 제 참아 수다라기 된다 모마 디차디기 디라니 샤레라 게디기도 디라니 따기도.
So in observing His Holiness for the 24 hours, so he is the living sutra. Like he practically lives that sutra, not just in what he teaches, but how he lives his life every day.
다 쿠란기 제당 다랑기 토니 꾸기 제당 다랑기 토니 가서라 러제자용 랑가된 연구도스.
Yeah, how he wakes up, how he have his meals, how he in 24 hours, just by him looking at him gives us that inspiration. He has a lot of examples, but he'll give one example here.
아니 지당니 가서 고유 송제 제고야다. 디상투줄라 하버도 고유 송제 제고야. 아니 잘라티도 다스 되면
Yeah. So right now the environment, climate issues is really key to everyone, and being able to not waste things is very key to all the societies now.
아니 하버드 가서 지배기 잘라디서 수수 계획이 배제 당뒤 그 가서 최대 댐버지 당고래 가용마용 당주요 말에스 띵가서 시고라스.
So even if, especially when it is of common like an organization's things, right? When you use it with very judiciously. So that is what he says.
다 자오르무치 임베 차네 간수일 하베 가서 그래 벤주 푸긴 임베 이나레 아니 가진다 슈긴 임베 이나레 장신기 코나로 가서 automatically 마오 여러 왔다. 차진 랑신기 가서도 마오 연구해서 야오 연구해서.
Yes. His Holiness has a lot of private sponsors and a lot of people who offer him, like both from Tibetans and the world.
자오름지 임베 차네.
Just because he is the Dalai Lama.
다 레디 근데 인상 쿠랑기 슈사기 나로라 변 수부추서 임베이나 수부추서 대 치워 진도 가 좀 많이 아니 디 수야라 강에 요 말했어 뭐니 진 수바이나
So even like so with the amount of offerings that he has, the bathtub he could easily make a very lavish bathtub for himself.
다 이내 르르지 내지 축게서디 자오르무치기 신종 다랑서 신종의 디 수주요 말했어.
So but he declines that. He does not want that the bathtub even.
추출한 줄 그랬어.
Because he thinks it's a waste of water.
근데 인상 추 바진다고 춘주지는 줄로는 디 축게.
So he puts water in the bucket and then takes bath that way instead of using the having a bathtub even.
간이스나 세라 겸발의 폐뒤 겸백이 투하를 자오름지 신용 수요레스 신용 나로를 추강 요로스 더 추강 나로를 당부디 수요레스 디 수디 자오름지디 만년이 주게서디 자오름지디 수무고디 지를 받던 송송스.
So in the when he was there in Sera Monastery, so in many of the monasteries there is one suit dedicated for him, and he saw the bathtub and he actually asked that it be removed.
Thank you.
Rinpoche, what is Tantra, and can you teach us it today?
다른게 두 상제기 송러 투야디 가레스. 두 말이 나래 상마. 아니요. 상하세디 가수를 디레스. 지당 상하 이날에 누이뭐 있는 두스나 수트라. 니가 상제 주야기 상제기 고방주 취제기 타랑 임바 지버레스.
So Tantra and Sutra both are ways to gain enlightenment. They are different paths, and both can be used to reach the enlightenment.
다 상하기 고수양 상주기 생다 동리기 다오디다 시자랑레스 소낭신 지고레스.
So even in Tantra, the compassion and emptiness both are the foundation for Tantra.
니 소낭신 계침부
Yeah, it's very, very important. It's kind of like the foundation of that.
다 이내 상하세 조디 상하기 고수 디송고레스 나초 단대기 센디 단대기 나랑수 센디 아니 상제기 고방 주야디를 타당 싫어 니가 창고요로스 터시 니가 뒤지도 냥내제 송고레스.
So in Tantra, what is taught is that both the
센디 뒤지기 돈에 타당 싫어 니가
the practice and the intelligence both have to be together.
다 누이 고수 타다 싫어 니 송고요디 타올라 띠네 싫어 공야 싫어라 띠네 타 공야마도 뒤지라 터시 니가 냥도 냥내제디 요 말에 송고요 말했어.
So, but in Sutra, what they say is like you do one or the other, and one depends on the other. Like tapta shirap. So tap is kind of like the actual the practice, and shirap is the intelligence. So, but in Tantra, you do that together, and so. this 교가 얘기를
이제 뒤지를 터시 니가 뒤지를 냥내제디 송고요를 했으면.
So dinsungi okay. So both of them in Tantra they do it together, but in Sutra you do one and the other because they are both one is dependent on the other.
다 디장망세 상하기 카도라 가서 그래 상제의 상주 심바 창마 수수기 류낭라 공야지 송교를 수구낭라.
Yeah, and in Tantra the meditation is where they think the Buddha is in you, so that's how they meditate.
그래서 딘데 인상 상제기 고방 주야라 타베 고방 주야라 상하기 타우디 조바당 뉴버치오 요레스 예딩문에 냥린 추신의 제도이나 디송교 요레스.
So if practiced correctly, because you're doing both practice and the intelligence together, and you're meditating as if the Buddha is with you, it is faster. Tantric is faster than the sutra.
다 이내 디상강세디 칸에 장야디 오마니마니 모마니 소아서 오마니 빼면 칸에 장야가 디지불라 고레 순데 지기도 디나 단드리기 친이디 창교요 말했어.
Yeah, but just just the mantra, doing the mantra is not, it's not considered tantra.
다 디마도 양 상하기 된다디 자진부인상 지진이나 슈트에 깔래고.
Yeah, so but it is very deep. Tantra is very deep, so it can be explained in like very few sentences. But the gist is that it is faster if practiced correctly.
상하라 가수 그래. 상하기 랑가디 차상집에는 당부 간데스 시고래. 랑냥ning 간데스 시고래. 디네 상제기 살아 간데스 누구를 세기 주당 차상지 주진 고인이 송샤요레스.
Yeah, so the path from start to finish to getting an enlightenment, it's all laid out and it is well documented also.
디 낭로라야 개바축이 상주면자오 망보요레스.
And there are a lot of differing thoughts from a lot of scholars on that.
딘데 인디 상하디 상하긴 주당 차상지 지진이 능에 슈도면도.
Yeah, because of those, the depth, the differing thoughts on it, it is hard to explain in concise, time on what the meaning of that is. Yeah.
안들 상하세디 조생 생낭로라 냥랭제 메시지레스 쿠랑쿠랑 메시지.
Yeah, but it is a very specific way of practice where you do both the practice and the intelligence together.
Thank you, Rinpoche. We have about 15 minutes to take questions from the audience, so if people want to raise their hands, if they've got a question, and if you're on Zoom, feel free to raise your electronic hand. Who does? Okay. Joseph, please. And Miles, would you be our mic runner? Or Matt, either one? Joseph, for it.
Rinpoche. My question is, contemplating the lower realms and the suffering of the lower realms can often be overwhelming. How should one practice to cultivate resilience and compassion to not be overwhelmed by the immense sufferings of just even imagining what's happening in the lower realms? Thank you.
다 니송송기 동해상 당디 가주 세나 간다지 레기오레스. 양 아주 하던 미기 내당다 하버드 하기 내당 상제의 상주심부 디주기 내당 상당도 양세는 가올레지 연구요레스.
Yeah, so when you think about the lower realms, you get anxious, you think about the sufferings there. But when you look at the upper realms of Buddha and the bodhicittas, that gives you calm and happiness.
다 집에서 빼는 거 안수 상상 냐딘데 칼라수 킹기 냐딜 가수다 지기도 딘데지 수행부쿠랑 미다단 딘데 통디 세마마지고 연구도스.
Yeah, so when you also similar to like when you see a fish and it's cut when it's live, you feel the pain.
다양 아주 미카제 지부당버딘데 통디강라 양디 지와라 상상딘데 연구도스.
But when you see people having picnic, you feel joy as well.
다 이내 나랑주 수수 간제스 지고레스 디상당고레스.
So regardless of this, you have to think about what you do.
수수 생기 낭로라 nganda cheba da ma jiba cheba tigi pashu gi nyandang di jondu mares.
Your anxiety and of people suffering is not going to help them.
Mishinda jibu do samba ina mishinda gi jibu di ngaso la yungu mares.
So when you look at others that are having joyful time, you don't really like have the joy transferred to you also.
Da tinde indi ngaso nyandang Dhamma niga tongdu nyedang di ngarang chula chu kuma dangin sun chi la zini o da susu gi duja yongyan di jeju mindu yabu yongyan di jegu du san di susu gi gyeshi ni dabuji gen la dabuji la zini sang dang na pingres.
So you think of those as lessons that you learn from both the suffering and the joy that you see from others, and then choose the path that is good for you.
Ngaso Tujin sang dang di gang la susu gi yawa karache tugudu susu gi jegoya kadu di sang mao dang gudus.
So the important is like looking at yourself and see how you can improve yourself, and then only can you improve others.
Yang ngaso sen nang lo la mishinda kandendu mishinda kararendu se di sang dang ya di ma na di susu la kaso gore pindu
So it is not clear that when you think about everyone's and how somebody is doing something, and you concentrate too much on that, that is not helpful for you. Yeah, there's a Tibetan story.
제강게 슐로라 제비 부장기 구기 슐로라 방구 카시지 종지지니 방구수 제비 부장 나로라 오 콜라세르 가츠요레 무 가츠요레 가츠 지베이나야디 디지우지 되어이나 디 미신다기 잘라디 장가지디 고로스.
So the Tibetan story is there's a palace and a king, and the king has lot of gold and silver and all of that in his palace. And outside there are some beggars, and they keep counting the number of gold and the silver, but just counting that is counting somebody else's thing, and it doesn't just transfer to the person who is actually counting.
Tatile 방구수 제비 부장의 지요를 니요를 지진이 시마되버지 수수파치네 자라 롱고는 롱 신가된데 떠군 떠 심바지우지 되나 디 야슈 말베스.
So instead of that, instead of counting others' blessings or others, the what would be most helpful is the beggar begs something and then goes and starts a farm or something that will eventually help himself. And be at peace instead of counting others, wealth. Yeah. So that is, from his perspective, that is a better way of spending time. Yeah, so the only thing we have control over is ourselves, not the environments or not the other people. So you only control yourself. So instead of depending so much on outside, make sure that you are spending time to be happy inside. Yeah, that you can actually control.
Thank you so much for coming today and sharing with us your words of wisdom. I was wondering whether you could explain the concept of emptiness and then offer a way for us to reinforce our understanding during meditation, like what you did earlier with impermanence in the guided meditation.
동반이 세디 시당 디스고레스 땡진 저원중화라 동반이 스고레스.
Yeah, emptiness is really it's about interdependence.
가르사 땡진 저원중화 인장 동배 당신이래 그랬어.
So because it is interdependent, that's why it's empty.
다 녜디 배천 지샤바이나.
One example is
배나 사자 디는 룬디레 레요르세 주여나. 니 낭주디 주부진주 뢰뢰진주 세지 시에요레스. 사자 구주서던 주 레서 주여나. 사자 구주서던 주 레서 지메나. 로 낭준 주뢰당 주제 가수를 레만레세디 게시에요 말스. 배나 게시 사자 가에메 버지 낭게 동버지. 군디네레 존디네레 세메 디지라 낭주 푸디바이나.
So all the measurement depends on certain things. If there is two places that you have to go, destination A and B, and because of that you measure like how many hours it will be to get from one destination A to B, how fast can you go from flight or bus, or all of that comes because there is a destination A and a B that you are measuring. So if there is no destination, there is no measurement. The flight could be just going anywhere, and you can't really say what you are measuring.
알아, 나가 동발을现在电影这讲了，就不当뢰뢰세 디지를 때네 샤고르마도 마덴바랑어 지요 말했어.
Yeah. So because of that, like how fast and all of that depends on that dependent, metrics there.
나수 대사기 캄바디야 캄바제 말했어야 돼. 나란슬로 때네 캄바레스 라버마도 게시 나수 human being 미 수부침부 난가 찜발이야 구통이 순르지. 야미 로미 지디 춘중 부주만 나신 차바이나 아니 콘솔런디 캄바디 캄바 차고 말했어.
Yeah. So this hall, this house is because we are human beings at this size, and because of that we say this is a house that we are in here. If there are humans that are so tall that they can't fit in here, then it's not a house for that. Or if it's a small, like an ant, then for that concept of this being a house doesn't exist.
그래서
So everything is dependent on how the dependent is, like, for example, this house being a house is dependent on us in this body structure and being able to say this is a house. So everything is dependent on on a lot of things to say what it is. Yeah. So when you think about you as yourself, so if you think of yourself as the center, so that doesn't reflect the reality. Because there is no center, everything is around you, it's all dependent. So the emptiness is that it's empty because it is dependent on a lot of things. So it talks about how you are here right now, and what are all the dependent factors that made you here. And so emptiness actually teaches you why, how that exists. So to practice that, you in the meditation reflect on the interdependence and why everything is empty without that dependent factors. And Nagarjuna has a very good Nagarjuna explains this very well.
Thank you for coming and talking with us. I think my question is very close to the subject that you just went through just now. I noticed from the beginning of your, or from early in your meditation, as we moved from the body and you said to the soul, and then I heard you speak of the mind. Let me pull this down here. Soul, mind, feeling, experience, no form, no color. And I have had a sense that the mind is not a thing, but rather it's an activity, like a dance is an activity. So how far off am I? Can you correct me on that?
Tangi meditate.
디 ndiye series 상제 정된 대기 센디 가서 우리 가서 지dengi 집어 버렸어. 근데 단이 다요 그랬어. 근데기 가서 집에지 당요 그랬어.
He said it is very you are not far off. He said that Buddha also has in his writing said that this is the mind and the soul is like deeds or activities.
Thank you for being here. When the emotion of anger comes up for you, how do you process it? How do you deal with it? Thank you.
콘루당 emotion lady Kandze Monstery. 아니요. 다 디고라 나랑라 남준 냥뇽 가르 중수주이나. 다 뒤준도 콘루당 emotion 디주마 칸데스 뇽으로 땅에게 터지 제요. 변나 콘루 콘루 뇽으로 땅에라 콘루라 콘루기 가서라 가수 콘루 승인이 칸데지 봐. 디 가서라 뉴욕에 핑기요래. 근데 뒤준도니 종달 요바이나. 아니 콘루 쇼총을 다 콘루 람베거래야 컨트롤 야부치 토야기 뉴바 치올래지 통구도스.
So what he said is he practices that the pros and cons of anger. So when you practice that, and think about what the anger does to you and what it doesn't, right? And so then you build up that practice very regularly. That when it comes as it shows its anger, then you are able to react to it because of your practice. When you think about the angers, what it does to your body, your health.
다 뒤진기 종달인데 매버이나 종달 맞이버지 아니 루버도 콘도 랑용디 마 콘도디 슈자야디 도스 갈레 카오요 상도스.
Yeah, it is more difficult when you are not practicing that on a daily basis of how thinking about if this happens. When you're more prepared when it comes, you know how to react to it. But if you are not practicing that on a regular basis, when it comes, it's harder to react in the way that you want.
다 이내야 터시 매버 말했어.
But all is not lost. There is still ways to do that.
콘루야 랑베거라 랑상 수술로 추대지 오가 가르치니 콘루 랑교요레스 저어딘데 땅.
So when you become angry, just look inside and say, why am I getting angry?
콘루 랑바디기 수 거디디 수수 콘루 랑바디 수수 문제버디 판도 동네지고 상교요레스.
Yeah. So when you think about it, then you feel like, okay, I need to take this down, right? So that awareness. Yeah.
콘루 랑용디가라 콘루기 상수디 가레스나 수수기 문제버지 통요로 카데 자우디 판도스 까고 상교요레스 쿠파 슈자고 상교요레스.
So when you're angry, you're usually angry to with somebody, right? And your reaction is to how do I, why am I getting angry and why is that person making you angry?
말해.
Okay, I am like, okay.
말해. 쿤두 랑용 디간라 쿤두 랑사기 미디 다 쿨라든 예 수다지 수고 상기요레스.
So usually it is like you are trying to take revenge of somebody who is making you angry.
다디 상기요디 쿤두 랑바 디기 쿤두 랑사기 미디를 수다지 도구르베스 수술을 되었당.
So you ask yourself, is your anger really going to take revenge? Is that anger going to really help you in taking revenge?
쿤두 랑바 디기 수수기 면대버디 까 도구르베스 되었당.
Can you ask whether you ask yourself, is my anger really going to stop that person?
다 우연히 줄라 쿤두 랑바 디기 면대버 까 토야 니바 요 말에.
So in reality, your anger doesn't do any of those.
쿤두 랑바디 단돈 수수 면대버디 마음도 딴 거.
So your anger actually sometimes can exasperate the source of that anger.
신달라 뉴버지에 토마토세디 카가르 쿤두 랑바이나 이나 쿤두 랑바디 수수라 쿤두 랑바 장지 수수 센라 뉴버지 거래.
So the anger itself, whether that makes it better or worse for the other person, it is sure that it makes it bad for you.
수수라 뉴버 쿤두 사와 장지 센투 거라스.
So it changes how you are thinking, like it changes your mind, your peace. Yeah. Yeah, it changes how it makes you a little unstable in that.
Yeah. 다 단돈 쿤두 랑베 카도라 양 상루 신다든데 당지니. 쿤두 랑베 카도라 센나 신다든데 쳔바이나. 니에추 신다든데 벤의 수수 낭준 가부지에서다 양 낭준 지 도나유에서기 니에추 신다든데 쳔바 제와이나 양 쿤두 때 즈마 슈총조에서.
Yeah. So you should also distract yourself with things that you can think about, some good things that you can think about.
다 쿤두당 emotion 디주제디 동린제당디 제세 시와라요. 샨디데와기 가사 부디사다 아오자라야. 디 나로라 리우투베 나로라 쿤두다 즈바니 쿤두 파기샤 수수디 쿤두당 수수니 빠로라 디체 드링제네 에 쿤두 고야 가래 쿤두 칸데스 용거래 가르 핑게래 가르 뉴그레스 시차부 드링제네 쿤두 쇼종 동야게 더시 시라 송요레스디 데토베이나 자자자 핑게레스.
So there is the happening.
준주 친구 부디사도 아오자라야. 아오자라야.
So there's a Bodhisattva
Sadhu
Avacharya. So in that there's a sixth chapter written by Shantideva, and in there there is a really debate on how you, just on anger, how you react to it, how you kind of look into it, decipher it, and all of that is very well documented, and he really encourages everyone to read that.
지단 쿤두라이 미참을 요레스.
Yeah, everyone gets angry.
다이네디 나솔라 핑기도 뉴기도 다이레스.
Yeah, so the thing is, how do you think whether the anger is that helping you or not? So that's something that you should look at.
Yeah.
Rinpoche, thank you. We're out of time, but maybe one more question is, what do you think of our first monastery space?
안에 디 민족의 지배이나 가서 그래 배야원 종샤.
He's happy that there's many who have come here.
아니 근데 좀바디 네 하장기 핑도 친구 열상거도.
He sees a very good benefit of people coming together like this.
미치기 뉴발레 미니기 뉴바디 치오요래.
Yeah, between one person and two persons benefit, there's always, more is always better.
다민 마무진 종용디 딜라 투모마이메 뉴바지오래.
So when there's a lot of people coming together, there's a energy that comes about. with that large number of people.
수수지부 가디오 있는 나올로 데데벌에 내년도 종치지네 아니 가서 그래 핀신 핀투버디 파 시르지와이나 참말로 핑계로웠어.
Yeah, so instead of staying alone at home, coming together like this and sharing your life together is very beneficial.
하버든 딜로 공작이 걸었어.
And then you also meditate, that increases the benefit.
이내다 공세디 간데지를 쓰기여봐 간데스 공고바 공벤 제부 간데지임바 디 자친부 로종 나토나 딜레야요 그랬어.
Yeah, it will be even more beneficial when you think about why you're doing meditation, what is the desired outcome, all of that. You have to continue to practice.
컴퍼니 두자레세 게미도 아니 가서 그래. 야부도 언제도.
He said the space is very. He said it's not bad, it's not good, it's okay.
이내 친구도 왔어, 야부도 왔어.
But it is big, he said.